High school is supposed to be the best years of our lives, filled with friendship, laughter, and dreams for the future. But for Adrianne Reynolds, a bright and spirited 16-year-old, high school became the stage for a nightmare she never saw coming. Betrayal, jealousy, and violence collided in a way that shocked a small town in Illinois and left everyone asking the same haunting question: how did it all go so horribly wrong? Adrianne Reynolds grew up in Kilgore, Texas, but life hadn't always been easy for her. Raised in a strict household, she often felt like a free spirit trapped in a cage. At 16, Adrianne made the bold decision to move to East Moline, Illinois, to live with her father and stepmother, hoping for a fresh start. A small-town girl with a big personality, Adrianne had dreams of becoming a mechanic and breaking the mold. She enrolled at Black Hawk College Outreach Center, where students could attend high school classes and vocational training at the same time. For Adrianne, it was the perfect opportunity to pursue her dreams of working in the automotive industry. Her bright smile and bubbly nature made her stand out. But starting over at a new school is never easy, especially when cliques and whispers dominate the hallways. Adrianne's charisma helped her make friends quickly, but not everyone welcomed her into their world with open arms. Adrianne's vibrant personality soon attracted the attention of Sarah Kolb, a 16-year-old with a sharp tongue and a reputation for being tough. Sarah was confident, edgy, and always surrounded by her loyal group of friends. Within days, Adrianne was invited into Sarah's circle, where she met Corey Gregory, a 17-year-old who idolized Sarah and followed her lead in everything. At first, Adrianne thought she had found a place where she belonged. But little did she know, the friendships she was forming were built on fragile ground, and beneath the surface of their smiles lay a dark undercurrent of jealousy and control. As Adrianne became more integrated into Sarah's group, tensions began to rise. Sarah had always been the center of attention, the one calling the shots. But Adrianne's arrival changed the dynamic. Her easy charm and approachable nature drew others toward her, and Sarah began to feel threatened. The real turning point came when Corey started paying more attention to Adrianne. Though Corey and Sarah weren't romantically involved, there was an unspoken understanding that he belonged to Sarah in some way. When Corey began showing signs of affection toward Adrianne, Sarah's jealousy turned into resentment. Sarah started to exclude Adrianne from plans, whispering behind her back and making cutting remarks disguised as jokes. Adrianne, eager to fit in, brushed it off, hoping that the tension would blow over. She didn't want to lose the group of friends she had just made, but Sarah wasn't willing to let things go. In her mind, Adrianne wasn't just a friend, she was a threat. And Sarah's need to maintain control over her world was about to take a deadly turn. On January 21st, 2005, Adrianne made plans to meet Sarah and Corey for lunch at Taco Bell. Despite the growing tension between them, Adrianne hoped they could resolve their differences. She believed this lunch could be a turning point, a chance to patch things up. Witnesses later reported that the three teens seemed to be getting along well at the restaurant. They laughed, joked, and acted like normal friends. But underneath the surface, the tension was simmering. After finishing their meal, Sarah suggested they drive to a secluded spot, a place where they could talk things out without distractions. Adrianne, always the optimist, agreed. As the car pulled away from the busy streets, she had no idea that she was walking straight into a trap. The group arrived at a remote location near a farm. The atmosphere shifted immediately. Sarah's casual demeanor evaporated, replaced by an icy hostility. According to Corey's later testimony, Sarah accused Adrianne of trying to take over her group and stealing Corey's attention. Adrianne, caught off guard, tried to defend herself, but Sarah wasn't interested in explanations. What started as a verbal argument escalated into a violent confrontation. Sarah lashed out, grabbing Adrianne by the throat. Adrianne struggled, begging for mercy, but Sarah's fury was uncontrollable. Corey, who had been standing by nervously, was dragged into the chaos when Sarah ordered him to help hold Adrianne down. Adrianne's pleas fell on deaf ears as Sarah tightened her grip. Corey, whether out of fear or loyalty, complied with Sarah's demands. When it was over, Adrianne lay lifeless in the back seat. The silence that followed was deafening. As the gravity of what they had done sank in, Sarah and Corey faced a choice: turn themselves in or cover their tracks. They chose the latter. The pair drove to Sarah's grandparents' farm, a secluded location where they believed they could dispose of the evidence without being seen. There, they attempted to burn Adrianne's body in a fire pit, using gasoline to fuel the flames. But the fire didn't destroy as much as they had hoped, and panic set in. Realizing they couldn't erase the evidence entirely, Sarah and Corey made a desperate decision. They dismembered Adrianne's remains, scattering them across the property in a final attempt to conceal their crime. It was a grotesque and calculated act that would haunt investigators for years to come. When Adrianne didn't return home that evening, her father and stepmother were immediately alarmed. She wasn't the type to disappear without a word. They reported her missing, sparking a police search that quickly gained traction in the tight-knit community. Days later, investigators received a tip from one of Adrianne's classmates, who mentioned seeing her leave with Sarah and Corey. The lead brought police straight to Sarah Kolb, whose calm demeanor during questioning raised suspicions. Under pressure, Corey broke first, leading authorities to the farm where Adrianne's remains were hidden. What the investigators found was horrifying: charred and dismembered remains, hastily buried and partially concealed. It was clear that this was no accident. This was murder. As the trial began, the courtroom was packed with reporters, community members, and Adrianne's grieving family. The details of the crime shocked everyone. Sarah, far from remorseful, claimed she had been pushed to her breaking point by Adrianne's disrespect. Corey, on the other hand, painted himself as a reluctant participant, claiming he only helped out of fear of Sarah. Prosecutors argued that Sarah's jealousy and obsession with control were the driving forces behind the crime, while Corey's weak will made him complicit. Witnesses testified about Sarah's manipulative personality and her tendency to lash out when things didn't go her way. Adrianne's family watched in anguish as the gruesome details of her final moments were laid bare. Her father, Tony Reynolds, later said he couldn't believe that teenagers, children really, could be capable of such evil. In February 2006, Sarah Kolb was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to 48 years in prison. Corey Gregory, who had cooperated with investigators, was sentenced to 45 years for his role in the crime. Both would spend decades behind bars for the life they had stolen. For Adrianne's family, the verdict brought some closure, but it could never bring back the daughter they had lost. The memory of Adrianne's bright smile and her dreams of becoming a mechanic would live on in the hearts of those who loved her. The murder of Adrianne Reynolds left an indelible mark on the community of East Moline. It's a story of friendship turned toxic, of jealousy spiraling into violence, and of a life cut tragically short. Adrianne's case serves as a haunting reminder of the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface of teenage friendships. It's a warning to look closer, to listen more carefully, and to never underestimate the power of unchecked emotions. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more true crime stories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. See you next time.